On this episode of Behind the Badge, we'll meet Detective Carrie Lynn Amedio, who has a pretty cool story about becoming a police officer at the WPD. We continue along the tour of the police station with Chief Mike Lawn, and we're headed back into the crime lab with Detective Dave McNeil to process shoe prints left behind at a crime scene.
Hi, my name is Carrie Lynn Amedio. I'm a detective at the Watertown Police Department, and you're watching Behind the Badge.
There's a long-standing tradition of family service within the Watertown Police Department. Meet Carrie Lynn Amedio, a detective at the WPD who has a cool story about how she honors her grandfather, Sergeant William O'Grady's legacy with the Watertown Police Department.
I wear badge number 179, which was my grandfather's, William O'Grady's, badge number, and he served on the Watertown Police Department for 36 years.
Carrie Lynn idolized her grandfather and wanted to follow in his footsteps, earning her bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Soon after, at the age of 23, she achieved her goal and joined the WPD, which gave her the honor of wearing her grandfather's badge number.
What's special about that is it's a lifelong bond that my grandfather and I have, which he actually had passed away before I even got on the department. And it was special for my mom as well as my grandmother. I remember my swearing in. My grandmother actually pinned my grandfather's badge on me. They had such a connection and appreciation for this department. So for me, even to be continuing on and carrying on his legacy, even if I could do a fraction of what he did, I would feel successful.
Carrie Lynn has certainly had the motivation and support to pursue her career in law enforcement. Her training and dedication to the job has prepared her for the success she's had in her role as a detective at the WPD.
Being a detective includes a lot of behind the scenes. I mean, the officers on the street are out there and they're the face of the department. A lot of what we do is one-on-one interactions that people probably don't even see. We're making phone calls, we're going to people's houses after the fact. So they've already made a report and we're trying to make sure that everything else kind of falls into place for them.
Detective Amedio. Hi, how are you?
I don't ever view myself any different than my male counterparts or anything. I just think that everybody, regardless of their background, brings something different. And that's what I think the great thing about our department is that there are people from all walks of life and we all bring something distinct and unique to policing.
Born and raised in Watertown, Detective Amedio is proud to serve her community in a position she takes very seriously. And as a female representative of the department, she understands that she's an even bigger role model when it comes to the young women of Watertown.
What's special about being a part of Watertown is this is a small community and you just feel like you're valued here. It's important for younger girls, high school girls, middle school girls, if I can give them that opportunity to see somebody succeeding in this role, then I've absolutely done my job. It was the best decision I've ever made because I can't ever actually wake up and imagine myself doing anything other than being a police officer and actually working at the Watertown Police Department.
Now, if you've been following along here on Behind the Badge, you'd know that the Watertown Police Department is located at 552 Main Street. You'd also know that it's quite a building with a lot of moving parts. Chief Mike Lawn has been nice enough to give us a little tour of the station. I wonder where we're headed today. Chief, take it away.
Okay, first we're going to go into our firing range. So you can see here we have a 4-station firing range, all computerized. We do great training here at the police department. We have great firearms instructors. The officers can come down here and train on their own. It's been a great resource for us here at the police department. Okay, so we continue on down here in the basement. This is the other side of the range, the prep room where the officers can do all their ammo. Over here is our tactical equipment room. We have all kinds of shields and different things of armor inside this room here. This is our fitness center. A big part of police work now is officer wellness. That's been proven that, a healthy officer is going to be a good officer. So officers that are coming in for a midnight shift, you'll see them come in here at 10 o'clock. They're able to get a good workout in. They wake up, they feel good in this great space. Down here is kind of the last of the basement, and this is our evidence room. So the evidence room is back here. When the officer does their report, they're able to log that evidence into our system. It's going to print out a ticket or sticker that we attach to that evidence, okay? The officer's going to come down here, and let's pick, evidence locker 2. We push that closed, and nobody can open that till the evidence officer's open on the other side.
On my end, as an evidence control officer, my job is to ensure that chain of custody is followed to the highest extent. So it's secured in this evidence locker here. I want to ensure that the evidence is safe and sealed properly, which it is. I would enter it on the computer saying it's going to the Watertown Police Crime Lab, and I would put it in this locker here. And that is now locked and secured in our Watertown Police Crime Lab to be processed by our crime lab detective.
There's only 2 people that have access to this room. And I bet you if I asked you if one of them is me, you're all going to say yes. But it's no, I don't have access. I cannot go into this room by myself, okay? Just our 2 prosecutors and our 2 evidence officers have access to this room. We know when people are going in, we know when people are going out, and we know when evidence is taken in and evidence is taken out.
Okay, it's time to head back into the crime lab with Detective Dave McNeil. Today, evidence has arrived that is believed to be a shoe imprint left behind at a crime scene. Let's head inside to investigate.
Hi, I'm Detective Dave McNeil with the Watertown Police Department, and this is our Crime Scene Services section. This is where we process evidence that we take from crime scenes. If you want to step inside with us, we're going to do a few processes that we use to help us solve crimes here in Watertown. Okay, so before we get started, always safety gloves and glasses when we're working inside the lab. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a process of trying to get an impression of a footwear impression that was left at a crime scene. What we're going to use here today is a product called dental stone. It actually is the product that is used to use temporary fillings in humans' teeth. This is simply the dental stone that we mix with water. We just pour that inside. As you can see, it starts to bubble. There's a chemical reaction in there. And what happens is this becomes the consistency of what we want of like pancake batter. Our mix is ready to go. We're going to open up one corner here, and you start pouring out the material. And as you can see, it fills into the details of where we want it to go. Now, this is done very neatly, and we want to keep it so we have just the impression of what we need. Okay, so our mold has been poured, and it's done, and it's in this stage. That will take several hours before it's able to be set up and cured. After we pull it out of the box, and we start to clean it up a little bit here. This is cleaned with an actual toothbrush and water. It's a biodegradable material that shows outstanding detail. Moving on to explain the detail, here are some of the samples that we get. As you can see, there's an Under Armour logo here. Moving on, here's a Sperry type shoe where you can actually see the word Topsider. A Timberland type shoe. All of this is very important when we make identifications here in the lab. Stay tuned for future episodes where we'll show you some other examples of how we solve crimes here in the lab. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Behind the Badge, we'll meet Officer Raul Mendez, or should we say Dr. Mendez. Have you ever wondered how the department keeps a safe eye on the different sectors of town? Well, we'll break it down for you. And we'll share a little secret with you about those electronic speed signs you see around town. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.